Howdy. I knew I was going to be late, but I didn't know I was going to be this late. Sorry about that. What? What? What happened? What? What? Uh, Apparently there's been some mayhem going on. Hey, hi. Oh gosh, I didn't know I was going to be this late. Sorry. Um, oh no. Oh no. Yikes. Almost lost the stream. Been having some technical issues. I had a feeling because I was rearranging things that there was going to be some lateness today, which so I had it like 10 minutes after, but that wasn't quite enough to fix everything. Um, Sorry. Oh gosh, lots been going on. I went out with Jason, and I know I'm always going to be late when I if I go out with Jason, I'm going to be home late, later than I think. So, and then things weren't quite working in the studio. So there. Ah, oh my God, you can see me. Oh dear. Look how different that is. I actually look like a living human now. Gotta keep up with that. Wait a minute. Now, who got kicked off? Wait a minute. Cowboy is having a sword fight with the neighbor's dog. Well, almost. But they were only mock battling because they wanted a part in one of the new Disney films. Anyway, people block me. I don't block any of you guys. If you ever think you're blocked, by the way, I'm not going to be the person to do it. Hello, James. Hello, YJ Overlander. Hello, Pam. Hello, David Castle, who honestly, I bet Jason has a huge. Okay. Well, anyway, we've got something. Okay, we talk about this all the time anyway. We're getting poisoned. We know this. It just gets seems like it's getting worse. But what can we personally do about this? What can we personally do about this? It's not just a matter of our food. We're also getting toxified in the head emotionally and on every turn. And it seems to be getting worse. I don't think it will always be this way. I think that we're going to see improvement. My my feeling is we will come out of this period. But will we all come out of this period? I don't know if all of us will make it out of this period. But what we can do, because we are going to make some conscious choices, we're going to, at least tonight, if you want, we'll get rid of, along with talking about ways that we can feel better physically, we'll get rid of some more toxic stuff up here. Okay? Because I promised you that. And I don't mind that one bit. I do it for myself. And I want to keep doing it that, you know, until we're all feeling a lot better, okay? Because I know there's a lot of you out there that's got things going on. I'm tired of this. So, um, you know what? Yeah, Overlander. Yeah, blocking should be a last resort. I don't know. I think people get trigger happy, um, and they just block people kind of, uh, and you don't know sometimes what that leads to, what that's going to lead to, but it's certainly not going to make you more popular. You know, it's more like a timeout. If they keep acting up, time them out and time them out. If they'll get sick of it and go away, you know. Um, if they're a troll, I mean, if they're an obvious bot, that's different. You know, as far as I'm concerned, that's a toxic thing right there, honestly, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, really, we don't have a lot of trouble here except from the bots, fortunately. I don't know if that'll always be the case, but really, I think we are doing better really if we just time people out, and, you know, try to give them warnings and stuff if they act up. You know, it's like, we don't want the show to go in this direction or whatever. Please, our rules are please be respectful of experiencers. And I say that every show. Whoa, that sounds really cool. Really cool, YJ Overlander. You always get blocked before your account is set up. Who blocked? Yeah, who? No, wait. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand what happened here. Okay, we know that David's getting hacked. And unfortunately, this is the. Whoa, what the heck? We're sliding. I got to get used to this new equipment. We're not having an earthquake, don't worry. Yeah, it's just, why do people do that crazy shit? I don't get it. Oh, hello, Bomber. I'm going to, you know, I've talked a bit about this. I'm going to do some processes. Uh, but I have talked about what I can offer. And and we've talked about this. This seems to be a big issue with you. So I'm going to let you talk about it too, because I know you've also got, I mean, you know, electrosmog's another issue. I'm gonna let you guys tell me if you want to come in here and tell me. I'm going to put the link out. And Overlander spoke to his kids about letting go of things that hold us back. Business tools. That's really wonderful. Very proud. That's lovely. Yeah, a VPN. I was gonna say you need a VPN. You need a VPN. It's one of the things that you know, people who have that hacking problem. I told you I've been hacked before. This is not. Unfortunately, this is the way some people some people deal with the world, is cybercrime. I'm going to move this a little farther back. That's good. Yeah, that's better. Not so glary in my glasses. I'll get it. I'll get this adjusted sooner or later. So, once again, if one of my beloved mods would drop a link in our MeWe just to let anybody know further that we're on, because I forgot to call Jason and remind him, because he's probably, I forgot to tell Jason where we're going to be on. He wanted to be on tonight. Shoot. I should have told him. We get so much going on, you know what I'm saying? Distractions. Um, yeah, VPN. Mm. Oh my gosh, he had a secondary. Ooh, Pam, your husband had a secondary condition he was not diagnosed with in life. Wow. Oh my goodness. Hello, James Ortiz. So far we've got David Castle, YJ Oberlander, Pam I Am, Bomber, and James Ortiz. So the we got some core group in here right now. That's nice. By the way, happy Monday. Let me get something to drink here. Pure water. Somehow, when I do the show lately, I am so dehydrated. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh dear, Pam, really? Ah, wow. Well, it's so common these days to have all kinds of things, and Alzheimer's a very common one, Pam. Unfortunately, these days it's become, like cancer, incredibly common. And it's another part of this toxicity thing. I'm very convinced, and actually, the medical establishment doesn't um, disagree that uh, our lifestyle can be, well, they say it can be a factor. It is a factor. Our lifestyle is a factor. And really, a lot of it we don't even know we're doing to ourselves. So, you know, Pam, yeah, because Alzheimer's is probably one of the cruelest diseases. Because my mother had that, and just it's really heartbreaking when they don't know who you are. When that happens, it'll break your heart. You know, on the subject, when I look at myself in the camera, I can see, I'm sure you guys can see too, how much thinner my face looks now. And that's lack of swelling. I woke up today, my ankles were the right size for a while. Then I went out and ran around, did some things, and they started getting mildly swollen again, but nothing like they used to. And I think to myself, my God, people who don't know this, what pain they're in. people who don't know how to take care of these things. It's horrible that we have to be so challenged like this, challenging our bodies, challenging our minds. But those of us who come out of this are going to be way stronger than we're going to be way stronger mentally, emotionally, and physically than the average person, I think. In time, we're going to find that we're the ones that didn't fall over, you know, and we're the ones that figured it out. And really, sometimes, and Jason, since he knows me, has changed a lot of his thinking, but sometimes I can see it still creeps in on him, even though there's plenty of proof. Now his sister has the C word, and he has not tested. He tested himself. He hasn't tested positive. She did because they were at a Thanksgiving event together. So, there's that fear triggered immediately. And I said, well, I'm not afraid of it because I know that I can get rid of it. I know there's cures. I I'm thank God to know that. And I thank God to know what they are. And really when I'm thanking God, I'm also thanking my fellow compatriots and truth seekers here. So I know there are things that can be done about that. But I know that this is causing a lot of fear, and fear itself is toxic. Mhm. Well, Pam, yeah, it's good that then before that all happened, it's good. Yeah, really, before I wouldn't want to go through it myself, but it's really harder on the family than it is on them. It's they don't even notice most of the time what's going on until um, they don't get a lot of the worst symptoms until the very end, towards the very end. So really, um, it's once again, it's the loved ones who have the hardest part of Alzheimer's. Um, because I hear they're not really, they're not, they can't remember that they have a lot of problems. I mean, they get to the point where they can't remember their problems, and then they're actually sometimes better than they were, calmer than they were sometimes. But then sometimes they get, if they're the grumpy kind, that's my mother would get grumpy. Yeah, oddly enough. Well, maybe yeah, it is a blessing that if he was going to leave you, that he left before all that. Um, and oh, your grandma has Alzheimer's too. YJ, sorry to hear that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my mother would every now and then she'd look at me and she'd go, look at me like she wasn't sure. And then after a bit, she'd be like, you're my daughter, Diane, right? That kind of thing. Sometimes she wouldn't remember for a while. Yeah. And then sometimes she'd think that the neighbor was her daughter. So one of our neighbors was me. So she'd get confused. Yes, your person under there is still a being, and the being, yeah, the being can hear you. Love can't live where fear resides. There you go. Yes. Anyway, so I'm going to put the link in a couple of minutes. I'll put the link in. If David is still on, is David still on? David, are you still on? Already. I'm really thirsty. My mother, I will tell you something weird about Alzheimer's. They travel in time a lot, I think. They seem to travel in time a lot. They seem to be wake up in the wrong time, because sometimes she'd see me as a little kid. She'd think I was a kid. And she would say things like, none of the phone numbers work. And I found out it was because she could remember her friends' numbers from 30 years ago, but forgot that they had, or even longer, I guess, but forgot that they had added prefixes, and that you now had to dial the prefix. So, an area code. It was so weird. Um, so yeah, sometimes she'd be way back in time. So they kind of move around in and out of time, and it can be very strange. And was recalling that time apparently with a lot of clarity because um, she could remember people's phone numbers, except she couldn't. She didn't know about the, you know, area code thing. Anyway, and she thought I was still a kid. Very weird. Okay, so I don't know who's blocking you, David Castle, but what an idiot. That's You're a very nice guy, and I don't see why. Like I said, Tanya's having this issue, and she's been having this for years. She's going round and round and round with AT&T, and um, AT&T knows about the problem, but it just has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. She's not well. This has caused her so much stress. I'm sure that it's part of what is hurting her is I mean, she can't even, most of the time, she can't even come on the channel. She'd like to, but she can't. She's got a lot going on. And no, so she'd like to come in here and say hi, but she can't. Uh, she can't really be on that long before something happens. Cyber criminals. See, that's the new thing. Okay, so just one of the latest of the assaults that we have to face, the toxic stuff we have to face. Welcome to D Ocean's Deep Woo. I'm D Ocean, and here we do the deepest of woo. And whether it is Sasquatch and other cryptids, whether it is uh, UFOs, abductions, visitations, or other experiences, whether it's ghosts and hauntings, whether it's time slips, whether it's any kind of woo that you can name, we'll talk about. And that is because we are in a strict refusal to deny what is there. I mean, honestly, let's face it, we're some of the few people who are actually refusing to deny reality as it is, as it stands, our reality in here. You know, if you think about it, we're not in denial. Think about this. It's like most of the world is in deep denial about a lot of things. It's so weird when I think about it, because they've been toxified. They can't think about it. They can't see it for what it is. They can't see the deception, and they don't have time to see the deception. A lot of times you're kept so busy, working, taking care of people. You're taking care of the kids, you're taking care of work, you're driving all over the place, you're this and that. And that's why we had so many people wake up during, uh, you know, for a while there when nothing was moving. People were waking up because they finally had time to think. It's like, wow, it is kind of weird, this world we're living in here is sure weird. Um, something just isn't right here. So what we've known all this time, right? Hello, Richard. How you doing? So I'm going to. It looks like people are still kind of filing in. I'm going to run the preview. I'm going to say my thing. Be kind to the experiencers. Most of us are experiencers in here. And that's all I'm asking of you is just be kind to each other. Don't troll each other. If you disagree, just disagree. You don't have to agree with anybody here, but if you don't agree, just disagree and leave it alone. Um, I'm just asking for you to respect everybody's point of view enough that if it's different, it's okay. People see things differently. I understand that. But what we're trying to do here is shed light on things and uh, help people understand how to take better care of themselves. Right. Yes. And you got a point there, YJ. Um, is that as much as fibro sucks, I'm sure Bomber can say something similar. And we've got every uh, Ortiz, James Ortiz. It sucks to be sick. It sucks to have fibro. It sucks to have these diseases. However, it's probably, in some cases, one of the reasons we had time to actually investigate some of this stuff and learn. Because I don't know, I was so busy before I started coming down with all this. I always had like 50 irons in the fire. I'm a very creative person. I mean, I belong to 5 different groups and had my own business like way, way back, and on and on and on and on and on. So I was a very, very active person at one time, and it slowed me the heck down, and I had to pay attention. Um, and it was so uncomfortable. I had to do something to try and figure out how to stop it. And when I realized that I wasn't going to get that from my standard uh, physicians, that I was not going to get the right kind of help. At first, I was going along with things, and then I realized this isn't working. None of that's going to work. Like I told you, I had a membership to a good gym, and I was going there a lot and trying to eat what I thought was safe food, trying to, do the right things, but little did I know. I didn't know what I know now. Right. Yeah. Please, I think that's a good thing to do. Use the disagreement as a doorway to understanding each other because you're right. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. You like this? This is actually kind of a blue purple. I don't know why guess the light is making it look bluer, but it's actually kind of blue purple. It's that pretty color between blue and purple that you call periwinkle. I found out a long time ago. In colors, it's called periwinkle if you don't know whether it's blue or purple. Then it's periwinkle. Unless it's very dark and then it's indigo. Hello, Justin. How you doing, Justin Case? Yeah, workaholics. And the thing is fibro usually hits workaholics. That's exactly who it hits. If you were a that's how I can tell. At some point, if you had fibro, at some point you were probably a workaholic. Yes, that is absolutely one of the things. You were probably doing a whole bunch of stuff. You were a very active person. That that definitely figures into it. Either you were a workaholic or in some way you were very, very active at one time. Amazing. Those were the first people that got it, especially very, very active women, because women get exposed to more chemicals than men do. And actually, I read an article about that a long time ago. Women literally get exposed generally, unless you've got a job as a man that exposes you to chemicals. Women actually expose themselves to a lot of chemicals a day and throughout their lives, including beauty products, cleaning products, and other stuff. It's really intense, but I mean, yeah, searching for truth will not fit in a typical schedule, will it? No, that's just kind of a side issue until everything stops, and then you have to ask questions. Right. 6 day weeks. I think I had 7 day weeks because I was running my own business. I had sometimes I swear I had 8 day weeks. When you have your own business, you are, so many of us are horrible bosses to ourselves. I mean, I used to make jokes about it. I used to call myself, when I had my website, I was web mistress, stressing, web mistressing. Yeah, like really, stress was daily in my life. I mean, it was expected of me. You were expected to be stressed out. It was just part of the game. Yeah. And didn't sleep. That's another thing, right? Not much sleep. And when we're younger, we can bounce. The older you get, the less bouncy you are, as far as that's concerned. Yeah. Oh, oh my gosh, Justin, see what I mean? Right. And yeah, what happens is you get a sensitivity to things that you're exposed to too much. So YJ's talking about how he kept getting solvents and detergents and petroleum products exposed to him, and now he can't be around them, can't even smell them. Yeah, that me too. I have trouble with petroleum products. They'll give me a horrific headache if I'm around them too long, and I'll start to lose my voice. Justin's weekend off was at Bernie's. Oh dear. Yeah. And I shouldn't. And you can't be around, Richard can't be around bodywork anymore. See? Yeah, propane, all of the petrochemicals, right? I'll tell you what, I'm going to give a few more minutes for people to come in. I'm going to run the intro because I'm so proud of it. And I'm going to say, remember, this is just tips, tricks, and hacks for the massively multiplayer virtual reality total immersion holofractal learning game simulation called Life on Planet Earth, and really doesn't have much to do with real life, which takes place outside the Matrix, except coincidentally. So here you go. Doggone it, I'm proud of that. Okay. Well, I was exposed to pesticides and stuff, not knowing. And I worked with all kinds of craft stuff, and there's a lot of chemicals. A lot of chemicals, and there's some stuff that really, at first, I didn't realize you couldn't mix it together. You couldn't mix together. I mean, that you should not, like, they were billing this Fimo stuff as being non toxic. But later on, I find you should not be cooking it on the same stuff you used to eat off of. And I mean, there's so many things we didn't understand, like um, Teflon. like how toxic it was when Teflon started coming off the pan, and it always starts coming off. It's always going to do that. This is why I switched to steel and iron pans, is because anything that comes off of them, the coating that gets on them is going to be hardened grease, but it's going to be food. And it's not going to be something that can kill you. Ah, you spend it on the beach. You're one weekend off in all those years. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. And I worked in a place, I was delivering mail, but I worked in a place with a lot of chemicals too for a while, delivering mail. And yeah, a lot of things in the air. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as your Teflon starts to wear, it's true, Bomber, even a little bit, it's already toxic. It's already toxic. Starts causing cancer. And they're still putting it out there. Hey, Brandy, how you doing? Yep, YJ, me too. Stainless steel and iron. And iron, the thing about my stainless steel and my iron pans, I don't have any kids to hand them down to. But if I did, in 50 years, they'd still be able to use them. I mean, that's the difference. You don't have to, you will not have to buy, and once you have a set of steel and um, iron, particularly iron ones, that's it. The only reason you change is because, you don't like you found a better style or something that you like better or something with most of them, except there's one kind I find that I don't like very much, and it's where the bottom is applied separately and sort of welded on or something. The bottoms can come off of those steel pans, and I'm not buying anymore. When these go, they're gone. I'm looking for replacements right now. But I didn't realize just how much pesticide I was being exposed to, and I was being exposed to industrial strength pesticide for years for um, uh, yeah, years, and I was getting symptoms that, and this was in the home because we had, and I didn't realize how bad I was being affected. But I mean, I couldn't even. We had a stray cat. This was just the cats that came to me were fine. But the one that my husband decided he had to, my ex-husband now, the one that he decided he had to keep had fleas. Her babies had fleas. When she had babies, it all went. They took them all over the house. Um, we ended up having to bug bomb. We ended up having to bathe them often in flea stuff um, to get rid of that problem. And he decided at some point, I guess, to start spraying some poison around, even contrary to what I told him should be done. Because I told him that, see, and the thing is, back then, when you told people you had allergies, they didn't believe you. People would say that it was all in your mind. And there are some people today that still do that, and there are even some doctors that don't that only half believe it. You know, Um, and so he was using an industrial strength pesticide. We found it. I didn't know about it because, of course, if I'd known about it, I would have thrown it out a lot sooner and raised some kind of hell. But my friend actually found it because she came over. She said, my hands tingle whenever I touch anything, and I always feel kind of crummy after I'm, here a few minutes. I think you've got something going on here. It's toxic. So she looked around and she found it, and it was industrial strength pesticide. You weren't supposed to have it around people at all. You weren't even supposed to have it around animals unless you let it air out 48 hours. But he was spraying it around the place. It was extremely toxic. And I had been exposed to that for years. See, and he wasn't understanding why he wasn't getting symptoms. He wasn't working from home. I was. I was trapped with that. And so I started getting out more. I mean, one of the things when I figured out what was doing this to me, but I got so dizzy and toxified, I fell through a glass coffee table and right in front of my mother. And of course, my mother being, when I would get hurt, my mother would get hysterical in a weird way. She would start laughing, you know, and she saw me trip and fall into this table, and she just started laughing, and she becomes not very helpful. I don't know how she got through things, really. God, thank God, as a kid, I didn't have, well, I guess I did have a few things. But yeah, I mean, when I got the scissors through my toe, she flipped out and just started laughing like a mad woman. And, usually I had to take care of things myself. A lot of times when I was older, I know I had to take care of things myself. So I don't know what the hell happened to me as a probably don't remember and don't want to. Can't imagine. Anyway, people have told you celiac's in your mind. Yeah. When I say I'm just staying away from this stuff, they say, "Do you got celiac's disease?" It's like, no. It's just, I find it bothers me. It's just not good for me. I don't try to claim celiac disease. I just say I just find that I have indigestion from it. Really terrible indigestion and get a rash. So I tell them like that's only part of it, of course. Yeah, it was through a glass table. I could have cut, I could have lost, I could have lost digits and stuff. But I was pretty badly cut up and I had to kind of take care of it myself. I bled all over. I didn't go to the hospital. I wasn't trained to do that. That wasn't my way. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I do remember. As a kid, there were many times I was walking around on a broken ankle a while before we finally realized we had to go get it splinted. It was a really weird. I had a weird life. What can I say? By the way, David Castle, greetings and favor to you and to everybody. Yeah. Yeah, unpasteurized honey. Yeah. Unpasteurized honey is a good way to help your problems. Now you paint with linseed oil paint that you make with pigments yourself. Good for you, Justin. Um, so you've all, aw, Justin, we love it when you show up. So just realize that I'm going to be on at 10 here, so which is a little bit sooner than you come in. So I don't know when you get the note. Maybe you get the note kind of late or something. But we miss you and we're glad we can see you. Yep, dream well and dream big. Okay, I'm going to put the link out. So anybody who wants to come in and talk about it, um, and let me get the link. There we go. And there you go. There is our link. So, I mean, I'm lucky to still be here. Frankly, I was so sick I thought I was dying. There's been several occasions, multiple occasions, but getting very toxified. And that started really back before I even left home. I remember getting so sick and I couldn't seem to explain it to anybody. So, really, the fibromyalgia and other stuff started when I was in college. And even a little bit before that, I think I might have had some, yeah, I think I might have had some, even as far back maybe as high school, a few symptoms. But I really started feeling it in college when I was trying to work and go to college and trying to have a business and so social and on and on. Because I was doing the art and I was doing the vending and I was actually sort of a famous fan. So I was really big into gaming and Star Trek and Star Wars and stuff. All of the science fiction and all of the fantasy and all of the adventure type stuff. And actually was asked to write for some publications and do some art. And so I did art and stuff for that sort of thing. And I um, made costumes, award-winning costumes, in fact. And um, so I even, you know, it was wonderful in a way because I met a lot of very interesting people that way. And as I did my vendor thing, I met a lot of celebrities because I was in places like New York and California where you meet people like that. So I met a lot of interesting people. I met people like Chris Angel and um, Steven Tyler, and I've mentioned them. I've mentioned them on here. Um, Met a lot of interesting people, and of course, when I was performing music, met some very interesting people that way. So I'm very lucky. But I found out that I had to find different than a regular job. I could not sustain a regular job, and that's bad because you know um, if you're trying to have a normal life, whatever normal is. So I guess I was not slated to have a normal life, but the the side effects of all of this toxicity were really alarming. I mean, and of course, culminating with me, this swelling, I'm sure, was another part of that. Things breaking down because I had to stay in a basement for a while. Then after, the chemicals, then I ended up getting also the dealing with fungus, having to survive fungus. If you live in a basement, you're going to have to survive fungus. Um, I lived above a beauty shop for a while. A lot of chemicals came up in my place. It's just crazy what I've been through and what I've lived through, but barely lived through in some cases. I mean, there were some times that my and then of course because of that, your immune system just goes nuts and starts rejecting everything. So what are you supposed to do with that? Brandy Robinson. Okay, the party's here. Um, but what are you supposed to do about this when you're in? Now, when I was in regular society, and really my friends were science fiction geeks, but they didn't accept this kind of stuff very much. I got more into the spiritual stuff because I wondered if I was under spiritual attack. It turns out I was too under that. But then again, most all of America is under spiritual attack. And actually, the whole world has been under spiritual attack. It wasn't just me. But there are a lot of groups that do this for various reasons. Some people even do it for profit, um, spiritually attack people. And they've told their stories on other people's shows. There, there were a couple of times that we've actually heard black magicians tell us what they do. Um, so, you know, to do stuff to other people. So, and some of these people, they have a curse list, almost like we have a prayer list, and they get paid. So, there's that going on. That sort of toxicity at the same time. Then we got people who don't know what to think, and you're arguing. When your spouse is getting told by everybody he's working with that there's really nothing wrong with you, it's all in your head, everything's all in your head, you just need to get a job, you know, and blah blah blah, need to get an office job like everybody else. Um, which 9 to 5, oh my God, that scared me more than, I mean, and working in office situations always made me want to run for the hills. Although I've done it, um, I can't say I ever learned exactly how to fit into an office situation. There's just so much politics and stuff. Um, something to the 7-year turnover rate of the body cells. Yes, I think we can. In fact, there is some evidence, and really, I have looked so into this. I have so looked into this. If you stay away from your allergen long enough, you can actually heal from it and uh, outgrow it a lot of times, not all of them. One that I seem to have never been able to get rid of is the nightshade. That one's staying. If I have too much nightshade, now I can have a little bit, once in a while. Certainly not every day. And I can have white potatoes for a long time. I couldn't even have white potatoes, which is the only reason I can have it now once in a while is because it's a tuber, it's a root instead of the top part. So, and it has less of the toxin in it. So I can't even look at tomatoes uh, most of the time, and peppers are completely out. They will give me IBC at a moment's notice and a terrible rash. So, and anything with fungus, which me woman was saying, I hope you don't like peanut butter because the nuts that are not in good shape and that the peanuts that are kind of moldy and stuff that they make that into peanut butter. So, and I do like natural peanut butter or organic peanut butter. So, but who knows? Maybe I'm getting natural organic mold. You don't know. When you really look into everything, um, you start realizing what is in our food. Of course, it's a horror story. If you start realizing what we're exposed to chemically, air fresheners. And I know some people who have a channel who didn't realize that their air fresheners were highly toxic and could be very toxic to cats, to their kitty cats. So, yeah. Um, oh, that's why you work on cycles in your garage. Yeah. You need air. Right. And then office conditions can be. I know what you mean, Bomber. It's like a cubicle. Yike. Uh, locked to your desk. Yike. Adam's peanut butter is great. I've never seen it. YJ. There's one ingredient, peanuts. Yeah, well, see, I get natural peanut butter and it has one ingredient, peanuts. That's pretty much what I get too, is the natural peanut butter. Well, thank you. We love you too, Karen. We love you too. So, that's another thing. Working conditions. People at factories go through a heck of a lot. I know that. And the Drew Carey show wasn't far off. The Drew Carey show was about Ohio, and they showed a lot of things about Ohio that is true. I mean, I know people who work at factories. I knew somebody, I used to date somebody that worked at Land O'Lakes, and some of their traditions, uh, you know, it's, I mean, first of all, who thought of doing all this weird stuff to you on your birthday? And if you were quitting, they'd do stuff to you too. And if you were, first they'd haze you on when you came in, then they'd haze you on the way out, and then they'd haze you if you had a birthday. And, for other reasons, they just would look for excuses to haze people at these places. They were crazy as hell. Okay. I don't know how they got work done. And then for a while, it was the style for computer geeks to play little nasty tricks on each other if you weren't locking up your computer and blah, 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 blah. They do things to each other. Of course, I think that may be beginning to fall out of fashion now, but I mean, people just do crazy things to each other and think that this is something they have to do. Oh, you lost 3 days being sick. I'm so sorry. Earache, sinus infection, and pain in both hips. Oh dear. I'm sorry, Karen Lynn. And Kraft peanut butter has Well, peanut oil extracted out of it. Then they put canola back in, canola. Yee! And sugar and preservatives. Yeah, it really is nasty. And it's what we're used to. Factories are horrible. Jason works at a plastics factory. You can only imagine. I'm getting him interested in taking care of himself. I got him talked into taking Zetox. I got him, uh, he has decided, you know what? Once you start making um, ginger tea, especially I throw mint in there and I throw a little bit of cinnamon and some lemon. Once you start, just a little lemon. Once you start drinking the ginger tea, even by itself, you get addicted to that stuff. I mean, he comes over and I'm going to have to start making gallons of the stuff because he will just drink that down. Like if I gave him, you know, a tumbler, if I gave him a bucket of that stuff, he probably would drink it. I'm going to have to make a ton of that. And he asked me to teach him how to make it. So I'm very hopeful that maybe he does actually start making it for himself. And it's a very good uh, antioxidant. It helps with pain. It helps with circulation. There's just so many things that ginger can help you with. Help you with a sick stomach. Actually, one of my Yolana's son had problems with his stomach. She put him on the ginger tea, and he's healing up. So ginger tea can really help you heal up. Um, it has a lot of really good properties. I would recommend it, but I would recommend getting it from the root because there's been times when I've tried to buy ginger tea and it was the weirdest thing. I bought Celestial Seasonings or something. No, not Celestial. What was it? I brought a certain brand. I bought a certain brand. It was supposed to be ginger tea, ginger something. And it was mint. It was the strongest spearmint. It was almost tasted like I was drinking eucalyptus or something. It wasn't ginger at all. So you can't necessarily trust that they're even getting that right. Not only that, but tea, you have no way of knowing if they ever rinse this off, if they ever rinse the pesticides off. A lot of times, see, you have no way of rinsing your tea before you drink your tea unless you throw out the first tea. Then you rinsed your tea, but it's so weird. It's like I no longer trust packaged tea very much, although I really love black tea. I like Paul Newman's black tea. It's organic. So that's a lot safer. So I try to get the organic and stuff that I can't rinse, I try to get organic. So if you're getting something besides organic tea, you're probably hurting yourself. Um, and if you make it yourself, you know what's going on with it. So I wish I could grow the black tea plant and do all that, but I'm not, in a way. But um, I hear you can grow ginger in a greenhouse. People have done it in their homes. So that may be coming up for me if I can get myself organized to do that. Yeah. Uh, yeah. In fact, oh, hello, Barry. How are you doing? Oh, yeah. Haven't seen you in a little while. How are you doing? Yeah. Zinc and vitamin D for, yeah, feeling sick. And once again, ginger tea will help that too. It just helps your having decent circulation in your body really helps. If you have somebody who is willing to do it, to give you a massage on a regular basis, oh my God, for years I hadn't had a massage for like way too many years. Well, they were very sparse. Once every now and years between. But now I get it more often, and seriously, getting the blood moving around helps a lot with a lot of things. It helps you detox, helps stuff move out of your body. So, um, I haven't had, I had some problem with my ears for a while, but it never blossomed into that. So I think I may have headed it off. Never blossomed into a infection. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. See, my ex-husband and I had a business together. I ended up having to give it to him because I was too sick to run it. Him and his new wife took it right over. Um, he was he had her all lined up before we were even divorced. Green lip mussels for your dogs. Thinking of getting him paring oil and green lip mussels. I don't know anything about green lip mussels, but but hemp oil is certainly good. Zinc and vitamin D, green tea, local honey. Um, yeah, hemp oils. Really? Hemp helps dogs who are prone to hip dysplasia. Wow. Good night, all. Oh, Pam's taken off. Thank you, Pam, for being here. Dream well. Love you. Okay. Yeah. 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C spread out in the day. That's another one. Get enough of your B12. Even meat eaters generally don't get enough B12, and B12 helps so many things. It really helps you resist a lot of things. And we don't get enough generally. And you know what? I can't even get it. My mother back in the old days used to talk about getting a B12 shot, and it would make her feel so much better. I can't get a B12 shot. I can't get anybody to give me a B12 shot around here. They just won't do it. They look at you like you're crazy, like you're trying to hurt yourself, like it's a bad drug or something. It's B freaking 12. What's the big deal about giving a person a B12 shot? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, they literally act like you're trying to hurt yourself. Oh, from bronchitis. I'm so sorry, Pam. Ginger tea will help that too. Yeah, Gemini's got bronchitis right now. Off and on. Is it Gemini? No, not Gemini. No, that's one of my neighbors. Sorry. It's one of my neighbors. Yeah, I knew it was somebody I was talking to recently. Now, Teresa's okay right now, fortunately. And Gemini's okay. Yeah, I'm not really taking a lot of vitamin C. Yeah, you're better off getting it from food if you can actually. That's why I put lemon in the tea. Is it's real vitamin C. Yeah, I make sure to get it from food. Blueberries. Oh, I love blueberries. Yeah. Rosehip tea. Mhm. And lemons, of course, and limes. Packaged ginger tea is awful. But real ginger root, yeah. You need to get it from real ginger root. How to distill hemp oil? Yes, absolutely. How to distill hemp oil. Oh, yeah. Well, see, the reason we didn't do that is because one of the rich guys, Paul was talking about that. One of the really rich guys, was it Reynolds, had acres and acres and acres of trees. So this is why they discouraged him. He wanted to get rid of all those trees first. Once again, it was just greed, and we shouldn't have done it. It was ridiculous. It was just absolutely ridiculous. If we were really trying to make things better, we would have gone with hemp. If, see, that's just it. People were doing things from a greed perspective too often. That's what the problem is. They're not looking to really make too too many times people were looking to make a fast buck instead of a good product. A product that breaks so that you can have people buy more. Planned obsolescence is a thing. It used to be people would try to make things as good as possible to last as long as possible. Then the other way of doing things started. You try to make things break by a certain time. The trick is, can you get it to break just outside of warranty so that the person has to buy another one? That's what we've got now. It's entropic. If you look up entropy, it's entropic. And entrop- entropy, our entropic system, is killing us. That's what's killing us. Because if it wasn't for that kind of thinking, we would have people looking for medicine that really cures things instead of medicine that just treats things and then gives you side effects that you have to have more medicine for. If it wasn't for all of that type of thinking, we would actually, by now, I'm sure, with all the research and study we've put into it, we would have most stuff cured. But instead, what we've got is a system where everybody's just being continually treated for something. And it's ridiculous. This is not workable. This is something we've really got to change. Hey, Ben, how you doing? Yeah, it's hard. Some things are very hard to get. Um, oh, Momoa, Jason Momoa? Ooh, yeah, we should get him to sponsor the hemp idea. He hates single-use plastic. I hate single-use plastic. I think we should be able to recycle all plastic. Well, and that's it. It's like natural vitamin C just absorbs better anyway. There's another trick too. If you're taking turmeric, we're all told we hear turmeric, 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 turmeric. If you're not taking piperine with it, you're not really getting very much benefit. You actually need pepper. If you're going to use turmeric, use pepper. That activates the turmeric. See, there's a lot of things we're only being told half-assed, you know, and that's another problem is people get kind of half-assed advice. It doesn't really help. Trampoline works good, yeah. Rebounder, massaging lymph nodes, yeah, absolutely. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, these right here, Everybody do this a little bit. These two things right here, these two ropey things right here. Here you go. Do a little squeezing of those daily, here and there during the day. Right in there, right behind your jaw there. And I didn't realize, but I was so sore, like now I can't even find it. Yeah, not sore anymore. I was so sore at a couple of spots under my jaw that when somebody was, talking about something in a group and they said blah 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 something right there and they touched me there just to demonstrate, and I just wanted to scream because I didn't realize how painful. I think it was just two little spots under here that are no longer painful now, so I can't even find where they can't even remember where they were. But when they touched them, it was just like, yow! I remember that. It's like, holy cow, I had no idea. But it was one of the things that let me know that I had some blockages and stuff. Yeah, if you have enough vitamin B, they don't like you much. Yeah. Gotta put the puppies to bed, bring my furry overlord, and bring in the furry overlord. Okay, is anybody getting on here to talk with me? David Castle? Feeling up to it tonight because, my at Bomber, my door is open. If you want me to put the link. Popeye and spinach, yeah, you're right. It's kind of like that. You got to have your B12. And I'm sorry, but okay, here comes David. And David, you're on. Hello, David.
How we doing?
I'm great tonight. I'm pretty good. I
Excellent.
had a few aches and pains because of the weather. I mean, still rainy weather sometimes gives me some problems, but I'm actually pretty good otherwise right now. My swelling is down. You can see by my face. I mean, you can see in some of my other videos how my face was swelling and how I was just swelling like crazy. And I am
Excellent. I think
I'm
a lot of that has to do with, like you were talking about, the chemicals that we ingest and the chemicals we take in. They block the paths of certain things being able to get rid of the things we need to get rid of.
right. Well, that and anything that causes inflammation is
Yeah.
going to cause swelling of something. And a lot of people have swelling when they think they gained weight, they've gained swelling, they've gained water. And I'm still trying to get that all out of my body. I know I'm still retaining a lot of water in my body. But retaining water is also what your body does as it's fixing to die. So sometimes I've heard of that too, is you'll start retaining a lot of water when you're fixing to die. Well, I think my body was trying to die for a long time there, or trying to protect me from something. I mean, the swelling is to protect you from something. And then you're storing toxin in your fat. And then, oh God, I wanted to say this before I forget. I found out something. One of the reasons you have trouble losing weight when you get toxified is because your body stores the toxins in the fat, mostly in the fat, because whatever it doesn't know what to do with it stores it in the fat. Then when you start losing weight, they go back, those toxins go back in you. Then your body tries to store them again because it's toxifying you. And then you just go through this cycle over and over. So once you have this problem, it's really hard to get entirely rid of it. And I do when I lose weight. I can tell when I lost a bunch of weight, I get rashes and stuff because I'm being toxified again.
Yep.
Go ahead, David.
I just think it's important to drink purified water and maybe even distilled water every now and then if you get a chance to. I know distilled water actually pulls some of the vitamins and the minerals that you need out of you. But if there's a way that you can get, some of that back into you later, I think that when the water goes in and when you have to pee or you sweat, you relieve some of those toxins that were in your body that way.
Yeah, that's why sweating is
And
valuable.
if you drink
Yeah.
pop, yeah, if you drink pop, you're drinking syrup and it's blocking all those paths from being able to get rid of itself. So maybe
Mhm.
a few days a month, you could start off with just, maybe drinking water 2 days a week, and then you drink whatever you're used to drinking the rest of the week. And then, after a week or two, move it up to 3 days a week until you're used to like having that not in you as much anymore. Because I'm telling you, I quit smoking cigarettes and I quit drinking pop. And I think the pop might have been worse on me. It made my body felt a lot worse without those chemicals.
Well, pop is just a disaster.
Yeah,
Our
absolutely.
our
Poison.
tendency to drink pop and pop with every meal is
Yeah.
a disaster in so
It
many
should have
ways.
skull and crossbones on it. They said because that's what's doing you into an early grave. That pop.
I have seen it do it.
Mhm.
I have seen old people start to get their diet, even particularly the diet, because they don't think it's doing anything to them.
Yeah.
They'll get, and they will get addicted to it, literally addicted. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
and they'll drink more and more and more. And pretty soon they're drinking like several cans a day. I would see these old people load up on when I would see them get 4 cartons of pop when they, you'd see them get 1 carton a week, then you'd see them get 2 cartons, and you'd see them by the time they get to 4 cartons, you weren't going to see them again.
Yep. Once you
Pretty
pop the cork
soon,
top, it's like
they're
putting the
going to be
cork on
gone.
the lid of the pop in the soda that you have. They try to get you addicted to it, and it makes you gives you a little high when you first start drinking it. It wakes you up in the morning. It gives you a like a burst, and you think it's going to keep getting better, but that's just because you're not used to the chemicals when you start drinking it at first, and then you start
Mhm.
thinking, well, maybe I've just been drinking one pop just a little too much, so maybe it takes two of those to get me going and get me
Just
energized for
like
the
every
day.
other
Yeah,
drug, right?
absolutely. And then before you know
It,
it, you're drinking three of them and you're still feeling like shit. And it hasn't helped you any. And now that you feel like you have to drink that many a day. So every once in a while, there's nothing wrong. If you smoke cigarettes or whatever your little habit is, just every once in a while, quit it for a week. Just put it down and show your body that you're still in charge of it. And you're not going to put up with it if it's not going to work for you the right way. Then you're not going to give it that stuff. You're going to take it away and you're going to make it go back to functioning without as much crap in you. You're not a dumpster. The more shit you throw inside yourself, and it's not going to make you feel any better. It makes you feel worse. It's going to drag you down, and your other systems
Mhm.
aren't going to work. Your other systems aren't going to get rid of it because you're shoveling it in faster than they can get rid of it.
Absolutely. Hey, Marilena, good to see you, babe.
Hey,
My dear sweet sister, our South African sister. We got to keep our minds focused on getting her over here
absolutely.
because it looks like, although we have problems here, it looks like some of our problems are lifting. We got rid of P lousy, and we got rid of Ouchie the Fauci.
Yeah,
Um, so we had two baddies resign. So we're actually making some progress here. We may eventually have a system where people are held accountable for, we got to keep bearing in mind we're building this.
yeah,
So my vote is for a system where people are being held accountable for stuff. And
absolutely.
you can't just, yeah.
And the people
So
just
that,
have become too complacent. They uh, they they don't look at see what these people are doing to them. They trust them for some reason. I don't know why. They just automatically trust these people. But when you start seeing them making and passing laws against them breaking laws and having to do jail time or something for it, then you know that something's probably gone wrong and these people need to be ousted as soon as humanly possible, because that's all they've been doing the last few years, making their own laws. So in case they get trouble for something, like just say
Mhm.
insiders trading that we know that they were a part of, and if you do it, I saw one of the football players doing it in the NFL. He got sentenced to 3 years in prison. And I've seen these other people do it, knowing that their place was getting ready to go out of business or go under. And so they'll put all their money in Amazon right before they shut everything down because there's a flu going around. And knowing that you have to use shipping to go get anything, and then invest in it. They make sure that it's the only thing that's open. So they make money off of it. And it's got to stop, and it's got to stop now. And just because they make the laws doesn't mean they get to break them and they're protected by them.
Right. Yes, Bomber. Fauci is gone. He resigned. Yes. Yes. And Nancy Pelosi is gone.
Yeah.
And, she tried to say it was because of what happened to her husband.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but no, she got fired. She got fired. I would love to hear Trump come in and say, fired, but fired. Nancy, you're fired. She was terrible.
I bet she got
Um,
her ice cream. She got her ice cream delivered to her before it happened, though. I guarantee it.
she got her ice cream, and so did Sniffer. Sniffer and his ice cream.
Rufus does like ice cream himself,
No,
though.
she's gone. She got fired. She said she was resigning, but really she got fired. So yeah, Nancy Pelosi is gone. I'm telling you, things are getting better. I told you this was going to happen in the fall. Remember, big things happening in the fall. This is still the fall. We haven't gotten to the winter yet.
We're going to fall a whole lot, so get used to it.
A lot of people are going to fall.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of things are going to fall.
like that
Too
movie,
bad.
some of the legends of the fall.
Yep, legends of the fall. Some legends are falling, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
and when you
And
fall,
that's
that makes legends when you fall. So
that's
stick
right.
with it and believe in yourself and keep thinking positive. I'm going through some stuff right now with this hacker. It's hilarious. This man doesn't have anything better to do with his time. But you know what? Eventually, he's going to be having romantic get-togethers in the closest prison in Alabama that they have, and I'm going to put him right there. And he knows it, and that's why
I
he's picking on
swear
me.
I want to see I want to see these people doing jail time for
Yeah.
their stuff, because if we were pulling the same stuff, we would be get doing it. You know
Oh, and
that. I want to see
the
them
only
do
reason
prison time
the only reason why he's
because
not in jail yet is he's blocked all the numbers for me to call to get a hold of anybody. I can't call different agencies to show them what I have or to tell them what they can find. And that right now he's under investigation. Right as we speak, last weekend he opened a credit card under Apple under my name, and I did not do it. I luckily caught him while me and him were both on that website, and they sent me a thing about using my new Apple credit card. And I immediately called them and said, it ain't my credit card, and I'm the one that's on the account. So you better, if you sold anything to him, you better go ahead and put it in fraud because it wasn't me. So they got
mhm.
that too. They got the number that he used when he used that. I told him look up this number. I gave him two numbers. I said, I bet you it's under one of them. And
I
they said,
have
yep,
a
it's
thing
under one
going
of
on
them.
right
And I
now.
said, there you go. I said, you want me to?
I have
Yeah.
a thing right now I'm going to have to block. I'm going to have to find out how to do this, because right now she's only using my number for stupid stuff like discount cards
Yeah.
at but Melissa was somebody I helped at one time. She is now using my number to get discount cards everywhere. Fortunately, she didn't get any of my other stuff, but I'll go somewhere where you have to give your phone number,
Yeah.
and they'll say, Melissa? It's like, what?
Block her on the
She's
server too.
using my number.
Yeah,
I
call
don't know
users
how
and
to.
people. Yeah.
How do I get rid of her? How do
All right.
I?
Well, first of all, whoever your server is, like I did have T-Mobile, and I would recommend for anybody that has T-Mobile to get the hell out of there as soon as humanly possible. If this anything like this ever happens to you through them, they have no idea how to get rid of it. No idea. I've tried
Okay.
like 4 different telephones and 5 different numbers, and they just can't. They can't keep them off my property. So yeah, don't go with T-Mobile. There's a reason why they're known for not being very good company. I would definitely go with one of the bigger, higher companies because at least they'll try to do something about it. But if this ever happens to you, immediately call the FBI and immediately call, I guess, what they call it, identity theft people. They're the ones that you need to get a hold of first.
Who?
Identity theft. If you look up identity theft, it's got a number, a governmental number to call.
Oh, a governmental number. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then find
Okay.
out where these people live. If you can find out possibly where they live, you're going to have to go through their local police departments because you're going to get the same runaround I get from mine. My police department won't even answer my numbers anymore. You have to get a hold of theirs and then explain to them what happened. Because especially if you live in a little town like me, I show them what's done. Hey, this is the IP address. This is the other person's IP address. You see how they don't match? And my police officer says, it just looks like numbers to me. I don't have any idea what it means. And
Right.
yeah, I
The
called
police are
down
not
there.
trained for that. They're not.
No, they have no
They're
idea.
not
And
trained for
but it's a
that.
crime. But it's a crime. It doesn't matter if they're trained for it or not. If they're not trained for it, then they need to get trained for it because that doesn't mean a person can
Okay.
get away with a crime just because they live on across the state line or something. He's still got to be a way to throw him in jail. He took money out of my account. He took money out of my parents' account. He robbed the bank. He at least, at the very least, committed fraud. So he just gets away with it because he's from Alabama. I don't think so.
Oh my goodness. I
Yeah,
I I just
but it's
this
laughable.
girl, I know this girl is having problems. She had me babysit her cat. I was supposed to babysit her cat for a few days,
Yeah,
and she came back to me a year later. I had thought, and he was a sweet tomcat. So this really half killed me when she took him back. She came along and decided she wanted him back after more than a year.
yeah,
I'm like, but she had a kid, and the kid, I didn't want to disappoint the kid, but I just about told her to fuck up. Well,
yeah,
you know, it's
absolutely.
my cat now because I've been taking care of him for a year. Now, she was just about to drop him off again when I moved here, and I told her, well, if you can pay the $250 fee for the pet
Yeah,
deposit. Now I've got a stress pet thing now, so I can have a
absolutely.
stress pet. I can have a emotional support animal, which is Cowboy, Mr. Sweetheart here,
I got
and
Rufus.
he's a perfect boy for that.
Rufus is the side of a cat, but he's a dog. So I take care of Rufus, and he's my guide. If I channel anything, it's usually straight through him because he's told me that Anubis was his previous life experience. He was Anubis.
Oh, well, Anubis certainly overshadows many dogs. That's just it. We don't have, I think, a good understanding of who the Egyptian gods were. People think that what was what would he have been but something like a dog man?
Absolutely. And he's got a little attitude. Even though he can't speak a lot of English, he can let me know when something disapproves of him and he can know if he's not comfortable with something. Yeah, Rufus, he knows that he's the boss.
Mhm. See, all of these, yeah, we probably Bis would have been a Lyran. Bast would have been
Mhm.
a Lyran, probably, and Sekhmet would have been a Lyran. I mean, we can now kind of know who these species were that we see depicted because um, there are beings that are humanoid or
Absolutely.
what would you call it? The cat people that are
Yeah,
kind of humanoid, that are cats, dogs, other animals.
we've had
They
dream experiences
exist
with
in
them
the
too. Yeah,
universe.
absolutely. And if
They
you
exist.
one of my great dream experiences, I asked to go back and show me any kind of interactions or any kind of friendships I had with beings that were mostly Lyran. And that night, I had a dream experience like my second girlfriend that I dated. Her name was Shelly. I won't say her last name. Her name was Shelly. And I went back to one of the things that we were doing during one experience. And other than seeing her in her human form like I normally did, this time I saw her while she was a Lyran. And it was the same experience, but she was one of the cat people this time. I didn't see her with her human meat suit on. This was all like soft coat of hair and like a mane, and she was a Lyran.
Because that's really, I guess, I've been doing a lot of trying to trace us back. Where did we really come from? Because I think it's pretty apparent that we did not come from this planet.
Mhm.
We
Absolutely.
didn't.
And you find all those secrets and all those breadcrumbs that you're going to find that lead you back to your yellow brick road have a lot to do with what that species and what they were mostly about, what they had all their genes like about, like of the cats. If it's a cat person, somebody that you hung around that was extremely like over the top competitive. That was probably a Lyran. That's one of their big traits that they have. They're very, very competitive, but they are so playful, but they have nails. So you got to be careful, how you play with them until they get to know you real well because they might take something the wrong way and out come the nails. Uh, it's different kind of little aspects of these people that you run into that kind of tell you maybe what they were. If you kind of overanalyze something, if you're thinking about and how things work and how well this doesn't make sense, you're probably a lot of that I've found it was probably Arcturian kind of a DNA. They're funny, don't get me wrong, but they're a lot more like sarcastic than funny. They tell jokes, but they're intelligent jokes, and you have to think about it for a second, and then you go,
They have a lot of dry humor. Yeah.
yeah, yes,
Sarcasm and dry
yeah,
humor.
they're very yeah, they're funny. I think they're hilarious. They are funny individuals. And everybody just sees kind of their stoic face and their stoic outlook, but they are. I mean, it's the energy. Don't look at what something looks
I
like.
know
Look at
I
the
have
energy.
some Arcturian in the background because I used to be that way. I'm still pretty sarcastic myself and very analytical at times.
Yeah.
I'm a creative person, wild, crazy, creative Sagittarius person, except I got, um, uh, I have Saturn within 1 degree of my birth
Awesome.
planet. So Jupiter and Saturn are running like uh, railroads through my chart all the time, the push and pull.
I can be
So
so sarcastic to someone that I can insult them, but it takes them 30 or 45 seconds to let it go back through their head a few times till they realize that it was an actual insult. They don't even figure it out until they think back. He said this, but if he
so
said that,
what's
that
your
might be it.
background? Because I know some people like that. What's the
I've,
background that does that?
oh, well, it could be several things. A lot of different beings think they're the most intelligent, and a lot of them are very intelligent. They don't fall for these false belief systems, so they're not like entrapped with their brain of thinking that something's not possible. Once you're willing to rip away those false belief systems, the limitations that you have isn't somebody else's limitations that they set down and put a mark to. Uh, there's different things that you can do that people just don't realize because they're being taught in school that well, this is as far as you can go. This, if you get to that part, you've already know. It's not like that at all. It's if you as
No.
long as you want to learn, you're going to learn. There's stuff everywhere, and not everything's going to resonate with you. So my don't judge it. My advice would be just like hold it off to the side, think about it.
Mhm.
If it doesn't resonate, okay, but then you might have an experience anywhere from maybe a couple
Okay.
days later, or maybe it's a year later, and then you'll go back and say, "Oh, that was what he was talking about when he was talking about this." Uh, don't ever
People
discount
have
it.
done that a million times with me. They've come back to me and said, "You were talking about this, weren't you?"
Yeah,
Hello, Kira. Hello, Kira has joined us. Kira, I am. Hi, sweetie.
yeah. Most
You
important
have
thing is
Sagittarius.
you
Okay,
don't
I'm
want
just going to ask how many people have Sagittarius in their chart heavy? And one of their three mains, either your rising, your sun, or your moon. How many people have Sagittarius in here? I'm just wondering. Right. And you turn 64 tomorrow. So you're a, wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm Sagittarius sun. I'm Aries rising and I'm Cancer moon. And I have Saturn 1 degree conjunct my sun. So, boy, what a mix, right? I am like one third less serious than, uh, I mean, one third less frivolous than your normal Sagittarius. So I'm Sagittarius light, I guess, or Sagittarius heavy, maybe. Anyway, how about you, David Castle?
I'm an Aries. I was born April 7th. I can't remember my moons
Aries.
and things like that. Yeah, but I'm an Aries, and so
I
I'm
would
very
say everybody get your moon and your rising figured out so that you'll understand a lot more about yourself once you do.
absolutely.
Yes, it really works well to figure out what your emotional state is like. When I realized I had a Cancer moon, it made so much sense why I could get so emotional.
And learn
Because
what your
people would
blood
say
type
you're a
is.
Sag. How is it that you're so emotional and tearful and whatever? Sometimes it's like
Learn
Cancer.
what your blood type is too. If you don't feel well, learn what your blood type is and find out what the efficiencies are in that blood type. Maybe you should be eating a certain kind of food that'll make you feel better for that blood type because there's a reason why it's there and there's a reason why you don't feel good. So you got to feel like both of those are part of the equation, and then you got to put whatever's in, add that to that equation, so you'll start feeling better. And it's not gonna they're not gonna give you any kind of answers like that. You're gonna have to research that yourself because they want you feeling bad and they want you on as many medications as possible. So that's more control they have over top of you.
Okay.
So look up your I'm AB negative. So I'm one of the rarest.
They never will tell me what mine is when they give me a blood test. I keep asking, they won't tell me. They don't want to tell me what my blood type is. I don't know what the problem is. By the way, Richard Elmore is a Sagittarius and turns 64 tomorrow. I
Happy
think
birthday
this
tomorrow, Richard
deserves
Elmore.
a. We got to sing happy birthday for Richard because we won't be on tomorrow. Are you
Works for me.
ready? Okay. Everybody, we're going to sing happy birthday. Okay, to Richard, who turns 64. Boy, I know the feeling. I turned 65 on the 9th. We'll probably have a show. Um, oh, Bomber has a Cancer moon too. Okay. Sagittarius. Of course. Why Jay's a Sagittarius. Cancer rising. Okay. Now, okay. So we have a lot of the same signs going on in here. This is interesting. This is interesting. I just wondered about that. Okay. Scorpio sun. Um,
Sounds like Palladians to me.
yeah. Okay, so let's sing happy birthday to Richard though. Okay, you ready? Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday,
birthday,
dear
Mr.
Richard.
Richard Elmore. He may not be the president, but still. Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to you.
to you and many more. Okay, so it just appears to me like we have a lot of the same signs in here and a lot of Libras, a lot of Gemini. Okay, yeah, not a whole lot of, yeah, there are some signs that are not very well represented in here too, I see. Sagittarius rising, Cancer moon. See?
I've
Uh,
been running into a lot of angels too. There's a lot of angels that are here right now, but I think they're probably the least amount that are here.
yeah, well, I have a whole, you know what? I want to say, and people don't understand this, you don't have to be ultra religious. Matter of
No,
fact, I don't
no, it
recommend
has
you ever
nothing
be
to
ultra
do with an
religious.
angel.
To have a
Nothing to
horde
do.
of angels what waiting for you to tell them what to
Yep.
do.
You've been misled.
Hmm. You've been misled. You have a band of angels given to you that are specifically to help you get things done here. Please use them. Please tell them what to do. All you have to do is say, "Angels, go do this." Direct them because that's what you're supposed to be doing with
Yeah,
them.
I should be doing that with this guy, but my ego tells me that I don't need him, that I could take care of it myself. So I have to stuck between a rock and a hard place. But I think I'm going to ask him for help just because I wanted to get this over with. It's been happening for 3 months and it's ridiculous.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, you really need to get it taken care of
Yeah,
because otherwise it expands and then you got a problem like Tanya's got right now where she can't even call me half the time.
I can't either. That's it. He's in my home phones as well, and there's proof everywhere. I have proof everywhere, but you can't find anybody that cares about it. Nobody cares about it because it's mostly just happening to you. So that's the
Hmm.
hard part. Finding someone that'll actually take action when you show them, hey, look, that's that guy's name
Hmm.
that's hacking into my account on my account. You see where it
Hmm.
says welcome, David? His name's not David. It's this name that he has on my account. And people, the common sense is not common anymore. It's been
No.
bred out of humans. Yeah, they don't know what to do and they don't know when to do it. They've been dumbed down so bad that I mean, I'm surprised that they can even walk for themselves for not at least at 10 or 12 years old, because everything that you used to be able not to get away with it, you get away with it now. All you got to do is speak it out of your mouth. It doesn't have to be true. You don't have to have evidence anymore. You just have to make it an idea in somebody's mind.
Yeah, oh, YJ Overlander is singing to us. You're my
Yeah.
angel. Come and save me tonight. Yeah.
How many songs is common for you to hear a day that has angel in it? Because I would only hear maybe a long time, maybe one, two a day. But now, since I've started like listening to lyrics and I listen to Cyrus, I keep my TV off 3/4 of the time. Don't even turn the TV on, and
I don't turn my
I get
TV on ever.
I get like 10 to 12 Angel songs usually a day, and that's
I
odd because there's not that
oh,
many.
you get 10 to 12 angel songs on your Pandora or
Yeah,
something or yeah, well, that kind of makes sense. So,
yeah.
um really, yeah, because you know what? I'll tell you, being a fire sign, I'm like a double fire sign with that Cancer moon makes it weird. I mean, if you're like, okay, so you're in Aries, we kind of relate because I got Aries rising, okay, and Sag sun, and then I've got this Cancer moon, so I relate to the watery people. This is why I'm ocean, is because actually that watery moon. But when I find when I'm my Cancer is my Cancer moon is really talking. is, well, that's part of the psychism and stuff too. But I get very defensive about my home. If you threaten my home, I get very, very upset. Anything that threatens the welfare and well being of my home
Right.
and those in my home. And yeah, you're right, Bomber. Cancers are caretakers. That's what we often end up getting stuck doing. So I ended up getting stuck in that with my mom. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we always want to feed everybody. Cancers have to make sure that everybody gets fed, right? Have to make sure that everybody is safe and dry. That's, the mom stuff. The mom stuff. Um Sagittarians though, Sagittarians and Aries, we like the truth. We want to talk. We don't, and you're a perfect Aries. I mean, you love coming in here and talking. That's Aries. That's very Aries.
And the only thing that really upsets me is if somebody is not honest with me, and some people that aren't loyal. That's the number one and number two things that Aries cares about: honesty and loyalty. Anything else we can deal with, but once
Right.
somebody does that to us, yes, it's like stabbing us in the back. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Ah, yes. Ooh. Barry, what happened? Good looking pup didn't pull through. Oh, I'm sorry,
So
Barry.
there that.
Barry lost a pup.
Uh,
Ah, I'm so sorry, dear.
and dogs,
Oh,
they're the ultimate loyal. They got loyalty like coming out of them. So that's why,
yeah.
a lot of Aries, that's why our, favorite animal, favorite friend is our dogs.
Yeah. Oh, my YJ says me too. Home and family. You mess with my home and family. Oh, you better not. Yeah, absolutely deception. Try to be honest. Another thing is, I notice that I seem to be a rare bird these days. When I say I'm going to do something, I'll practically die to try and do it. I mean, I
Yep.
will go out of my way to try and do what I said I was going to do. I don't just make,
Yep.
you know, promises and agreements and not do them. I mean, if I say I'm going to try and be somewhere by a certain time or I'm going to try and get something to happen, I will pull out all the stops to get it to happen. Like I said, if I said I'm going to pay you back, I'm going to pay you back.
Absolutely.
If,
And
that
that's
kind of
probably honesty. That's the honesty and loyalty thing. If we say we're going to do something, we're going to do, whatever it takes to try to get that done.
right. Because, Your Honor, and I think this is really what we're missing a lot of times too. Is it used to be your word was your bond and your honor was everything,
Uh,
and then people don't really freaking care. Oh no, we didn't lose David, did we? We
no, I
can't
just took my
see you,
sweatshirt
David.
off. I just took my sweatshirt off, so it's getting too hot.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, well, when you're hot, you're hot. Um, yeah. You know what? The worst thing is what they put in pet food. You have to be so careful with pet food now, even pet food. And it's so expensive to get in it. It's almost expensive to get your animal treated as it is to get yourself treated with anything.
That's the
Yeah,
only thing I
Bomber
don't
said,
like about that. They want you to get your animal treated, but they want you to make sure that he's got the shots and everything as well. And I draw my line at making my animals get very many shots. I think I made him get the first shot, the inoculation or something, the very first one, and the second one I can't remember what it was for, but I think he got two shots in, and they said like he had like six or seven left, and I drew the line. I was like, nope, that's it. I'll give him three.
onion powder can kill your dog? Grapes can kill your dog?
Yeah, grapes can't. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Oh, YJ is saying grapes or onion garlic powder. Well, antifreeze, I knew. It's sweet. You know what? I'm going to tell you. In these zero drinks, they're putting something like that in the zero drinks because it's sweet. It's actually a toxic chemical, but because it's a trace element, they don't have to list it. So when you see a zero and you don't see any sweetener there, they put a toxin in there, a trace, and then they don't have to list it. Yes, and they're allowed to do that. Some toxins build up in your body, you know. Supposedly, they're allowed to do it because it's not enough to kill you or affect you. But yeah, some things build up. What do you want to bet? A lot of this zero is building up in people's bloodstreams right now. And we're going to have a lot of trouble because of that. I had no idea grapes or onion and garlic powder. My dog, my dog grown up should have been long dead though because she ate people food and I mean she ate it her whole life in chocolate too. They also say that about chocolate. How come my dog could eat all that? And she lived to be 15. I don't know, maybe they would have lived a lot longer if they would have had something else, but I mean, she still lived to be 15 years old, which is not bad for a dog.
I heard it was something I read up on that grape thing. Isn't it something about the skin of the grapes will eat through the intestine of the dog? They can't digest it. I
Wow.
think that's what I heard.
Yeah, chicken is good. Meat, if you can give your animals meat, give them some meat. Oh boy, yeah. Onion, garlic, grapes, and chocolate. Yeah, my dog ate all that when I was a kid. She ate all that. Eh, I don't know, man. Something is happening. It's like all the kids are allergic to peanut butter. You know, all these kids allergic to peanut butter. I think it's got to be something in there, not the actual product. Like maybe cacao wouldn't hurt them, but what they put in the cacao maybe would. I don't know. And YJ is saying grapes, raisins, onion powder, very toxic. Whoa. Wow. The sister's dog put everything in his mouth. Now the vet insurance is done. Marilena says, oh, so he'd eat anything. Wow. And almonds. And almonds? Wow. And garlic also poison to dogs, poison to cats. No shit. Honestly.
I heard something about the garlic causing their liver or kidneys to fail or something. But I also read that uh, if your dog's not allergic to it and you just sprinkle a little tiny bit on their food, that it can also get fleas, make fleas not want your dog. So I don't
We
know.
did
I have to
that
look into.
often.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I can't understand. We would often sprinkle a little bit of garlic on the
yeah,
dog food, keep the fleas off them. And the cat, a little bit on the cat food too.
yeah.
Our cats didn't die. Wow. So now they're dying from this stuff.
Something that's
That's
caused
different.
their liver and kidney not to be able to take it anymore. It's probably something that they were a chemical or something that they were putting in the actual food of these animals to make it hurt their livers and stuff.
Probably. Probably something else they're eating like their animal food that you put it all together and it spells they're dying of it. Yeah. Uh, Marilena says I'm allergic to peanuts here in South Africa, but she wasn't in Italy. Well, for men though, 2 almonds a day helps prostate cancers stay away. Oh, really? I didn't know. Oh, garlic is okay. Raw garlic is okay. Almond milk. Yeah. Well, I hope you make your own almond milk, James Ortiz, because they put a lot of junk in almond milk. So they try and get you to do this is another big trick. Now they're trying to get you to drink these nut milks, telling you that it's healthier because of the casein in milk. I just opted to drink organic milk, pastured milk, milk without the hormones and the other stuff. I just opted for that. If you're going to drink almond milk, though, it's pretty easy to make, and I'd advise you to make it yourself because they put a lot of horrible ingredients in almond milk, and people don't know that. It's supposed to be healthier, it's not healthier. It's not. So, the enzymes they use in cartons of almond milk, not the almonds itself. Yes, exactly. They put things in the almond milk and the different kinds of milks that are not good for you. So they tell you this is beneficial. And if it were real and if it were just the real almond milk, yeah, it would be. It would be. But that's not what it is. They put a bunch of other crap in there. So yeah, for me, I just get the organic, and if I can get it, milk that's comes from, like, we have Hertzler's dairy here. It's real milk. It actually even separates. You get cream on top of it. You have to shake it up. It's actual real milk. So we can still get real milk here, and I know you can't do that everywhere. I'm blessed where I am. Where I am, I can still get some actual food that I don't have to make do with the stuff they have, you know, the prepackaged crap. And really, almost everything prepackaged is something you should stay the hell away from. I don't recommend prepackaged anything much. Okay, it's all mostly crap in there. I mean, even the so-called health foods. Some of these are health foods, and they're supposed to be. A lot of them are not that great. Just because it's a health food and they sell it at a health food store doesn't mean much. Yeah, things are safe alone, and then that's another thing. Yeah, say things can be safe alone, but then combined they become a new compound, and then you have trouble with it. That's right. Two-part poisons in the food. I've been saying that. That's what I think. That's what I think too. Is they've got two-part poisons now. It's safe if you have this or that, but if you have both, yeah. Oh, raw garlic curing earaches and toothaches, yeah. Oh, they also use a clove for toothache. But what I use for a toothache is Bio Repair. It's Italian toothpaste. And that stuff has hydroxyapatite, and it's the cheapest one I could find that has the hydroxyapatite. And when people have aching teeth, your teeth just ache, and I tell them to use that, and then they go on that, and they want nothing but that after that. They want BioRepair because your teeth stop aching, okay? Because it gives you a layer of protection. If you want to give your teeth another layer of protection, I recommend xylitol as a sweetener. Xylitol makes your teeth extra slippery to bacteria and stuff. So, um, and actually raw sugar also contains raw real sugar, real cane juice, real sugar that doesn't have it processed out, actually contains a chemical that will make your teeth slippery to bacteria and will help your teeth not rot. But they take that out of it when they refine it. That's why the people out in the field had good teeth, but the people in the factory did not, in the sugar refineries. So, because my mom, she used to have that when she was a kid. They used to give them an actual sugar cane to eat, like candy. That's what they'd give them, literal sugar cane. It never hurt their teeth because it had the chemical with it that didn't hurt, that protected your teeth. Of course, you take that out though, so that people can have bad teeth. Hmm. It's it's lovely, lovely plan, isn't it? You can't tell me that this wasn't planned. Goat cheese and goat yogurt. Oh yeah, goat goat stuff. Well, smaller curd. Yeah, yeah, the best time for making a dentist appointment is 2:30. Yep. Yeah, goat cheese is wonderful. They just got some wonderful goat cheese in at Aldi's. Has they call it gingerbread. Gingerbread cranberry. It was pretty good. Um let's see. With toast. I can't have toast anymore. Yep. Swish with Bragg's apple cider vinegar with some other unpasteurized. You got to be careful though with cider vinegar because it's hard on your teeth. So, then you need your bio repair and your other stuff to protect your teeth if you're going to do that, and also with lemon juice. Same thing. Lemon will also eat at your teeth. Um, Real raw sugar is more expensive. Well, yeah, but if you don't use very much of it, it's, you know what I find? Honestly, have more, if you stop buying the junk, you find you have more money left to buy real stuff. Okay. Because I don't have a lot to work with either, but I found that by avoiding all of the crap, um, that people normally buy, I can afford the better stuff and maybe a smaller amount, but it's better stuff and it won't poison me, which makes more sense to me. And when I eat out, there's very few places I eat out. I'll eat out at well, there's a Chinese place that actually the food is very clean. They don't use MSG. I've never caught them using anything funny in there. And we're always satisfied when we eat there. And you know what? Chinese food isn't that bad if you get the uh, vegetables. If you can find one that just gives you the vegetable kind, like for instance beef and broccoli or something like that, or even just the chow mein and stuff, there's a lot of good nutrients in there. If you can find one that cooks pretty clean, that's not so bad for you. There's a lot of really good nutrients in that kind of food. I mean, they have the bean sprouts and everything in there. Um, let's see. Used to have two pygmy goats named Lawnmower and Lawnmower. Ah, yes. What else we got here? Goats. Their eyes freak me out, but you love them. Yeah, they have funny eyes. They got out of their fence and ate your entire garden. Yeah, they will. Uh-huh. Yep. They will eat your garden. You know what? You could have them eat people's weeds, though, for a price. Fully fenced gardens. Yes, that's what you need. Right. Yeah. Let's see, because people are coming up with a lot of stuff back and forth here. Dilute the ACV or lemon juice with water to protect your gut lining and rinse your mouth after it'll eat your teeth. Yeah, I was just saying that. Unless, of course, you use something that protects your teeth, which I do. Um, let's see what else we've got. People saying, so there was 8 reindeer in Rudolph, but do you know there was a 10th reindeer? Oh, okay, I smell something coming up. What's he gonna say? He was named Olive, all of the other reindeer. Oh, God. All of the other reindeer used to laugh. Well, Olive was mean, right? All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. Olive was nasty and mean. Okay. Yeah. Beware of Olive the reindeer. You know what? I saw something I could not believe. And I don't know if I put it in our chat or I hope I did. But actually, this guy was petting a beautiful white reindeer. And I think it was a reindeer. And it was purring. It was purring, this huge reindeer. with beautiful white animal creature had its head on this guy's lap and it was purring as he petted it like a cat. I have never heard of such a thing in my life. Did you know that they purred? Mind
Rufus
blowing.
doesn't come right up to him. The deer come right up to him, and he's usually about maybe 8 to 10 feet from me. They'll come almost all the way up to us.
Wow. Well, I didn't know they purr. Do they purr? Am I right? It was that a reindeer that he was petting? Because it looked like a reindeer to me. And I'm like, I didn't know reindeers purr. But actually, it seemed very comfortable with him, and it was just the most beautiful animal, just all white. And of course, the antlers were a little pink. It would look like a plush reindeer. It was so cute, but it was huge, of course. But it had its head in his lap, and he was just petting it like a cat. It's purring. I'm like, okay, I've never seen anything like that in my life, but they're so adorable. Yeah, it was purring. I would love that. I would love to have a great big purring reindeer put its head in my lap. That would be cool. Um, oh, stern talking to the cat. You're gonna have to give your cat a stern talking to. Okay. He was in a fight. Yeah, you have to talk to him. You can't be doing that. Mommy can't afford the vet. Yeah, in velvet. Yes, it was beautiful. My gosh, it was so beautiful. Um, okay, Barry. Yeah, we're about to run. You guys want me to run some processes so we can get rid of some of this stuff?
Sure.
You guys love to talk about this kind of thing. I know you've all got great advice. I mean, oh, your cat biscuit. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you have to tell him you can't be doing that. Um, okay. Let's see if we can change the world. I promise that every time we get together, I'm going to do some of this process stuff so that we can nudge things, at least for ourselves, into a good vibration, okay, into a good frequency. So I'm going to start with the Pock and Pod stuff. And you guys have been told how to use the Pock and Pod, but I'm going to explain it very briefly. I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to ask a question. A question will bring up energy. The energy that you have is what we're bringing up. You don't have to answer the question, but when I ask the question, it will bring energy up. And this is like bringing up a file. Okay, and this is a file that we need to alter or delete. And in this case, we're going to be deleting files. Okay, we're going to be deleting strings of code if you want to see it that way. So all you have to do if you want to get rid of this code, this programming, this bit of stuff in your system that you need to get rid of, if you agree to it, just say yes, and we will start to dissolve it, to delete it. Okay, you may have to do it more than once because it may have been installed more than once. So, and actually, over the lifetimes, it could have been installed thousands of times. So that's why we use the term Godzillion. We don't know how many times it was installed. So, um, okay. Oh, the cat's eating your ice cream. Oh my goodness. They love dairy products, don't they? Oh, by the way, Cowboy is here. I don't know if you can see him. Let me see if I can show you Cowboy. There he is, with his belly up to be rubbed. He's fine as long as he gets his belly rubbed a little bit. He'll be here with us the whole time. He's purring. So there's Mr. Cowboy's cameo. Okay. So Let's try this one. And if you can think of one that you want me to run, let me know. Oh no, YouTube is buffering bomber. Oh dear. Oh, you had an attachment to your spine root chakra. Oh, ouch. Did you get rid of it? Did you manage to get rid of it? Yeah. Well, you have issues over there. I know, Marilena, you have to do what you have to do. Okay. How about let me see if I can formulate a good one. Um, what do you want me to work on? Let's see. All of these toxic foods. Okay, how can we get rid of that? How can we get rid of okay, we're gonna try and okay. What attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have that it's a toxic world and everything is out to kill me? Sort of like living in Australia. If we can get rid of that, we might be able to get rid of people giving us toxic people putting out this toxic food. So let's see if we can clear it for ourselves. What what attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have that it's a toxic universe? Everything's out to kill me, the food, the water, the air, everything. There are people out to kill us all. You know, that's a pretty big fear, right? So let's see if we can mitigate that. Okay. Okay. So now that I've asked that question, would you be willing to uncreate and destroy all that? Okay. And if you say yes, then I now uncreate and destroy all that times a godzillion, puck and pod. What attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have? That it's a toxic universe and everybody's trying to kill me and people don't care and um, the food is all poison and uh, it's only going to get worse. How's that? It's only going to get worse. We'll see if we can get rid of that. We should be able to we'll work on getting rid of that. We shall endeavor. Okay, how about that? Would we be willing to get rid of all of that? Would you? I would be. Okay, so I now uncreate and destroy all of that times a godzillion. Pock and pot. Okay, now our governments are toxic and it's just never going to change fast enough. It's, you know, never going to change. What attitudes and opinions and judgments do we have that our governments are just going to stay toxic and never going to change? It's never going to change. Both parties are bad. We don't even have anybody decent to vote for. Okay, we need to change that. Would we be willing to uncreate and destroy all that? If you would, just answer yes. Okay. Now uncreate. I now uncreate and destroy all that. Times a godzillion, pock and pot. Okay. What attitudes, opinions, and judgments do we have that okay, what attitudes, opinions, and judgments do you have that you can never get over allergies? That you can't lose your allergies? Okay. Allergies and illnesses and sensitivities. They're just there. Okay. But you can. Okay. I know that for a fact. So whatever's in our heads about that. Okay. And would you be willing to uncreate and destroy all that? Okay. I know. Uncreate and destroy all that. Times a godzillion, pock and pot. If this lifts anything for anybody, let me know. If it lightens anything for anybody, let me know. Toxic people. Okay, what attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have that I just attract that I attract toxic people? That there are always going to be toxic people in my life. I just can't avoid it. That they're all over. I just can't avoid it. Well, maybe we can, right? Okay, so would you be willing to uncreate and destroy toxic people in your life? That belief. Okay. I now uncreate and destroy this times a godzillion, pock and pot. That's big. That's one of the main ones of the night. And Marilena says, yes, it is working. Okay. If there's something else, let me know. I'm trying to read and see what I see that needs to be ripped out. Uh, we got to do some code ripping here. We definitely got to do some code ripping. Because we've got a lot to do and we don't need this holding us back. Exactly, YJ, exactly. Right. It clears space. Okay. There's another exercise I want you to do right now. Right. We're releasing the stuff that was input. I mean, we were programmed. We were programmed to have these beliefs by various people, various entities. We got to rip it out, put our own code in there. Yes. Okay. Okay. Try this exercise, please. Okay. Want you to close your eyes if you can. If you're driving, don't. But if you can, close your eyes for a few minutes. Um, See if you can feel the outside of your boundary, of your spirit's boundaries. What are your spirit's boundaries? Can you feel them? And expand. Just let yourself, okay, expand. And let yourself expand some more. And let yourself expand some more. And let yourself expand really big. And let yourself expand bigger than the planet. Let yourself expand bigger than the solar system or whatever it is this realm is we're in. Okay, I don't care what you think it is. Expand bigger than that. Okay, and as you feel yourself expand, as you expand, how do you feel? By doing this expansion, you should feel a lot more spacious. So we're expanding. If we expand to our true size, we're actually the universe. But yeah, by removing the burden of the unwanted stuff, we have room for the stuff that we do want. We have more room. It's not like right in our face. Okay, so the more you expand, do your expansion exercise. We'll do it in here. When I come in here, remind me, we'll do the expansion. We'll all expand together. We'll do the expansion. And now I want you to breathe Just take a nice breath and sigh. Breathe fully all the way in with your nose, with your mouth. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just get a lot of oxygen in there. As you blow out all of the stale air. So really push it out. Then take some more in. Now I want you to try this. Inhale, hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Let it out. Take it back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Right away, take it back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. I used to do this while I was driving. I'd get high as a kite and see visions because I was driving all over the place. And one of the reasons I really didn't mind driving all over the place was because I would do all these exercises while I was driving. It was my time to do all of that. I would do all of these. I would do the expansion exercise. I wouldn't close my eyes to do it. I would do the breathing, a lot of the breathing. If you do 10 reps of the breathing. Now, this isn't hard. This isn't hard. This is hard exercise, but it will make you a lot more alert and it will make you a lot more. And I forget to do it, that I can do that. This is probably why I'm yawning to remind me I should be doing that. But you will find that if you do that, you're, when you're pushing it out and you're taking the air in, when you push out all that old stuff, it is literally making space for the fresh air and more oxygen. You will oxygenate your system rather fast this way, and you will give yourself a bit of energy that you wouldn't have otherwise. And you'll find out that you will have a lot more energy after you do this. You do 10 reps, and you can do this several times a day. You can do this as many times a day as you have time for. And you'll find that you will feel better when you do it. And I have to remember to do it because I'm out of practice. Because I had a routine when I drove, I had a routine where I would do this sort of thing all the time while I was driving. And I just realized that's probably part of my problem is I don't have the same routine anymore. And a lot of this stuff that I did while I was driving, I wasn't doing anymore because I wasn't driving. I didn't have the routine. So, it was weird. It was like, gosh, I just realized I used to do this stuff all the time. I should be doing it more often. I should. Yes, it feels so good. Let's do it some more. Expand some more. Expand some more. Expand some more. Expand. And you know what? You know how to do this. You know how to do it. Isn't that amazing? There aren't any instruction manuals or anything. You've never been told. But when I say expand, you know how to do that. I'll tell you something else you know how to do. You know how to align your chakras to your spine. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Align your spine. Just push your chakras back to your spine. Sit up straight as you can, and push your chakras back to your spine. Push them all back to your spine. Now, see, you know how to do this. You didn't know you knew how to do that, did you? You know what I figured out why that works to help you feel better is because we use our chakra centers to kind of glom onto things. I mean, we sort of, when I'm interested in something, I can feel, sometimes I can even feel my heart chakra will put, my heart goes out to whoever. It does. It really does. Your heart chakra moves. You got to get it back in you and lined up with the rest because your heart does go out to people. As a matter of fact, here's the thing, take your right hand, put it over your heart, put your left hand over that. If you're hearing bad news, if you're watching something horrible happen, protect your heart by doing this. Okay? This will help protect your heart. These two chakras overlapped over your heart like this will help protect your heart. Now, my Mayan teacher told me that when the Mayans did this, it was always left over the right. The right would come, the left would come. That was a greeting. Okay. So, yes, it does feel good. Some of these things, it'll take a while for you to implement them. Yes, chakras are almost like an appendage, but an an extra in our etheric body. Yes, I never realized this for a long time, but when I was doing the exercise to push them back, it took me a while to figure it out. But yeah, we do move our chakras around somehow. I don't understand how we even do that, but somehow we do. It seems that we do. And they get all out of alignment. And we can actually, I haven't tried this, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if we can push them to align this way, push them to align that way. See if we can get them centered right on the spine. Back. But you got to be sitting up straight for it to work really well. Wow. Yes, that's very different. Yes, remember, our chakra system are our energy systems. We don't even know how to do that, do we? We don't even know how to take care of our own freaking chakra systems. We're not taught that. Is that crazy? That's crazy. It's freaking nuts. And we should all know how to do this. All of us. Okay. Yeah, quantum entanglement with energy. Yeah. Well, you're welcome, everybody. Yes, it does feel good, doesn't it? I'm going to show you another one now. This is another one you can do. And I sing a song about this. And when you do this, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel so good. We can do it here, although I recommend you do this in nature. When you're sitting out in nature, you're going to have an effect on not only yourself, but the nature around you is going to be affected by what I'm going to show you next. Okay? Remember the song I sing. I'm going to sing the song. Follow along. Do this as I sing it. We're going to send our roots down like a tree. We're going to send our roots down into the earth and feel her heartbeat. We're going to send our roots down, 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 and connect with her heartbeat, her heart, as our mother. Okay, then we're going to, keeping that, pull it up to the center. Keep that love. You'll feel love. You'll feel love from her coming up to you. And keeping that in your center, you then send the energy up through the sun into the great central sun, and you will feel the love coming back. and let that mingle there in the center. Okay. And know that that is like it should end up right here in your solar plexus. Okay, so I'm going to sing the song. Mother, I send my roots down, send my roots down till I feel the beating of your heart. Mother, I send my roots down, send my roots down till I feel the beating of your heart. And I feel love coming right back to me. I feel love coming right back to me. Father, I send my branches up, send my branches up till I feel your energy. Father, I send my branches up, send my branches up till I feel your energy. And I feel love coming right back to me. I feel love coming right back to me. Oh, I know I am a child of the earth and the sky. I feel love. I know I'm a child of the earth and the sky. I feel love. I feel love coming right back to me. I feel love coming right back to me. Ah, ah, old world druidry. Yes, yes. Ah, I always feel so much better. The wind will usually pick up. Nature usually starts paying attention to me. I feel the love inside me. I really feel a part of my universe again instead of divorced from it, instead of apart from it. I feel a part of it. And when you're a part of it and you know that you have the love coming to you and you're feeling that love and you feel the energy in your solar plexus chakra, right in your middle, right in your stomach. Oh, and when you're out in nature, it feels so good. I will do some meditations out in nature when I can do them, but I will do some for in here too, because while we're inside, we don't get enough of that nurturing. And really, they want to nurture us. It's oh, my stomach is making all kinds of noises. You know what? If you do this and your stomach makes noises, you are making changes in your body. You are making, so don't be surprised if you hear noises in there. So let me know when you're ready for another one. Yes, this is very pure nature mage stuff. Okay. This is Gosh, I feel so peaceful now. I feel so peaceful. I feel so relaxed. I feel so peaceful. How do you guys feel? Tell me. Is this helping? I hope that you are having the same reaction or similar because this is wonderful. I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful doing this with all of you too. That's another wonderful thing about this is to do this as a group. It's like, ah, I'm feeling y'all relax out there, you know, because here we are empaths. If we can get ourselves nice and relaxed and in a high vibration, one of the things that I think the dark side fears the most is us getting together on things. It seems like what everything is trying to do is separate us. They try and separate us between politics, between races, between everything, okay? On opinions and everything. They're trying to separate us because when we combine, when we unite, we are unstoppable. And so when we feel alone, we feel vulnerable. When we feel peaceful within ourselves and a part of, for instance, our beloved family, then we are powerful. So I think it's a good idea, and I have to remind myself. I'm going to see if I can maybe put some reminders on my phone or something to do these things daily and see if it changes me again. Because I just realized today during this broadcast here that I have not been doing this enough myself either. And that by sharing this with you, it's actually helping me too. It's going to help me too. If I share this with you on a regular basis, it's going to also help me. Okay? It's going to help us all. Right. Yes, you feel better. Oh, thank you, Richard, for telling me. It's always nice to hear that the effect is. I know it's just like you drop some weight. It's just like you drop some heavy weights, isn't it? It's like, oh God, yeah. I just dropped the boulder. It's gone. Goodbye. Here comes another one. Okay. Once again, be in a good state to be able to do this. You want to be maybe sitting down or something so that you don't fall down or something because you might get some interesting reactions some people have. Okay, go down since you did the roots thing. Now I want you to just journey down and journey down and journey down and journey down and go down and just expand yourself downward, downward, downward. There will come a point at which you break through something. And when you do, you will feel space. So just keep going until you break through. Down, 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 down. And then you break through. And when you break through, you realize there's a lot of space. A lot of space there. And it's a lot of beautiful space. I couldn't tell you exactly why this works, but it does somehow. I'm not sure. Does this get us is this space outside the matrix? I don't know. But it's one of the things my teacher taught me to do. And somehow when you do it and you break through that, whatever it is, you feel space, lots of space. I can't explain it. Maybe some of you will understand it better. Yes, yes, you will. Right. We are expansive, huge beings. This body is only an avatar. We need to protect it and keep it in good functioning order so that we can operate here in this realm. But it's only a vehicle in this realm. Okay? We won't be needing it. We're bigger, way bigger. And if you can start feeling how much bigger you are, this will do you good. Because we try to cram ourselves down into these little bodies. And this is not how it's meant to be. We are not supposed to be trying to stuff our spirit into a body. Our body is functioning inside our spirit, inside our field. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? Yeah. Now they're lovely meat suits. We should respect our meat suits. Did you know your body has a little bit of its own, has a kind of, I shouldn't say a little bit, it has a kind of consciousness of its own. Enough to keep it running, to keep things running. And you can actually talk to that consciousness. You can talk to your body, and the body can talk back to you and actually tell you things because it's it's our sensory device here in this realm. So you can actually use your body in different ways. You see people do this where they push their meat suit to do amazing things. And it's because you have a different relationship with your body than most people have. And I'm working on this myself because I've been told a lot of horrible things about my body. I'm trying to clear them all out. Okay, how about this one? What attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have? That my body's not under my control, that it does a lot of things I have absolutely no control over, and I have to worry that it might get sick or it might have something happen to it that I can't deal with. It might do something that I can't deal with that I can't control. Would you be willing to uncreate and destroy that belief? Because really, shouldn't it be a partnership? You're in a partnership here. You need this to function here in this realm. So okay. So let's uncreate and destroy all that. I now uncreate and destroy all that. Times a godzillion, times a godzillion. Pock and pot all that. Pock and pot all that. There's a lot of it. Pock and pot all that. There's a lot of body issues out there, aren't there? Pock and pot all that. Okay. How about this one? What attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have? My body is damaged. It's never going to be the same. It's never going to get better. No matter how I work on it, it's never going to get back. Actually, it could repair it to where it is even better. So let's get rid of this. Okay. What attitudes, opinions, and judgments do I have that my body is damaged irreparably and I can never get healthy, completely healthy again? I can never get all my functioning back. Okay. Would we be willing to uncreate and destroy that? I would. I say yes. Okay. Times a godzillion, times a godzillion. Pock and prod all that. We will. We'll make it even better. Right. A UFO is actually right. The real UFOs, not the ones that we reverse engineered, but a real UFO is an extension of the being. It's an extension of the being. That's what they don't understand. Now, here's something that I heard from listening to Linda Moulton Howe, who has looked into these pieces of real craft that we have recovered, but you're not hearing about it. Okay, the layers are so thin. The layers are much thinner than anything our manufacturing processes could ever do. But it's composite and it contains elements that are hard to find on this planet. And the layers are so thin. And they somehow are putting layers of stuff together. They're making alloys of things that don't alloy, that don't don't go into an alloy. Somehow they manage to alloy them. So I think this is actually almost like a carapace, almost like growing a carapace. Okay, almost like, and this is actually the ships are an outgrowth of the being. Yes. 1111. Yep. So they recycle beer cans. James, you're a character. Okay. What else have we got? We got anything else we got to take care of? You guys are great. I love you so much. You're just great. Um, feels like we did some good. When I reach out, it feels like we lightened up some stuff, which is good. It because it's not as heavy. Okay, I really hope that we can do more of this. Wow, maybe I should even do shorts and just come on just for a short period of time every night and do this or something if I can, and just not expect to be here for very long, but just long enough to do these exercises with you, these processes to get them to get this stuff to all move for us. I don't know. We'll see if I can do that or not. Yeah, YJ, that it could be the secret to how they're doing this, right? But I was thinking skin layers are that thin. I mean, literally, the metal was, I think they said it was like thin as skin. And we have layers of skin. I was just thinking, they're growing it. It's somehow growing. It's like we grow our skin. Because these layers are like thinner than human hairs. So it's pretty thin. I mean, more like, yeah, more like layers of skin. Amazing, huh? More and more stuff that they're not telling us. I mean, people know. Somebody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's ever going to know. They're going to know. We're going to know. We got people who will let it out. Yeah, a battery, layers of thin material. Yeah, yeah. That's got to be part of it, right? So anyway, I feel good and I don't really want I tell you the truth, I'm not a bit tired right now. Gosh, I wish I'd thought of this earlier. I'm not a bit tired right now. I don't feel a bit drained. I do need some more water though. Seems like when I'm doing these shows, I'm going to have to keep water around. Because I'm going to have to keep at least a half gallon of water per show lying around. Because that's how much I drink at least. And then after the show, I want to drink more. Yep, I'm going to keep water around every show now. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Ah, I feel so much better. I hope you guys do too. Gosh, I hope you feel this much better. Because I would love to do that for every one of you. I would love to give you that. Yeah. Okay. We're going to have to do this more often. Like I said, remind me, I'm going to do this every show. Wow. The only thing is, now I'm so relaxed. I'm not upset about a damn thing. I couldn't even do a decent rant right now, but that's good. I couldn't even rant about anything right now. We need to get the pressure off of us sometimes. I mean, really, there's all these pressures. It's not good to have that all the time. We need to get that off of us. The way it seems to peel off of us is when we expand, we're just so big that it's smaller than a gnat, you know, all of this stuff. It's way too small to be concerned about. But not being horribly concerned or triggered by anything is the space you want to come from to be able to change things. Oh, I just don't desire that. I think I'd rather have this. And that feels so nice. Yes, I think I'd like that. That kind of thing. So, if I haven't put everybody to sleep, if I have put you to sleep, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Maybe you needed to sleep. If I haven't put everybody to sleep, um, it's been 3 hours, yeah, and I'm just sitting here. It's been 3 hours. I don't feel bad at all. Ah, yeah, and I don't want to move out of this. I just want to stay here. It's too nice. This is too nice. But I know that we've all got things we want to do. We all got some other things to do and maybe some other places to visit. So I'm going to end it here for tonight. And I'm going to see you on Wednesday at 10. And I hope to see you on Wednesday at 10. We'll do something like this every time. Because this is just so nice. It's just so good. We gotta stop. Gonna have to find some way to remind myself to do this every freaking day. Right. You're welcome. Okay. Remember, truth is where you find it. Hope you're finding some here. And if so, would you please like, share, subscribe? Share this with people and let them know. Somebody that you think would be happy here with us. If so, suggest it, um, and expand our family. And remember, you are divine and you are creators. So create wisely and well and consciously. And you are creating reality. So, what the future is going to look like is going to be by our design. Okay. And tell people you love them because a lot of them are going to be leaving us, leaving this realm. I love you. You're all such beautiful souls. You, you're amazing. Okay. Much love.